5 points against South Carolina, and I'm thinking, all he needs a touchdown, and it should be in good shape. If I'm getting 5, 6 touchdowns ahead of him, and it ended up being a miserable blowout. Howard actually was another school I bet this year. Howard was getting 38 points against Rutgers, and they were giving Rutgers a run for the money in the first half. They were actually winning that game for a lot of the time. They ended up covering. So that's the largest underdog that I bet and won money with. So, but I try to avoid those big numbers.
Are there any trends that you've looked at over the years? Or coincidences? Like there's like things like, Andy Reid is, 14-1 after a bye week or something like that, or Mark Mangino is, 19-1 after eating at Golden Corral. What is your, what are trends that you look at? Like, what is a trend that you definitely believe in, as far as, a bye week or a coach, having against this team or something? What's a trend, a point spread or something against a certain team that you firmly believe in, and you will?
I'll look at scheduling trends, and like you said, bye week, or I'll look at scheduling trends more than I would coaching trends or team trends, because coaches change around so much nowadays, especially in college. Team personnel and team philosophy change over the years. So a lot of those are you see a lot of stale trends when you start looking in depth with coaches or teams. So I'll look at scheduling spots, especially with colleges. They try to schedule a lot of the same games. For example, up until the last couple of years, whenever Alabama and Tennessee played, it was always on the third Saturday in October. That was actually the name of that rivalry, pretty much. So I would look for things of that nature, or like Northern Illinois playing games on Tuesday, Wednesday nights, the whole matching slate of games late in the year. But I don't really follow coaching trends or team trends much, because those things tend to change over time.
What's the most ridiculous stat you've seen? Like, okay, with your your research and all that, what is the most surprising, or I mean, don't give away your secrets, but what's the most shocking trend you've seen as far as a certain team, or a certain coach, or a certain matchup of players?
Well, I think to kind of encompass all of it, whenever I see certain trends that date all the way back to, say, like 1980, you know what I mean? Like if I see teams who play in their 11th game off of 2 exact losses with a record under 500, that they have something bananas like that goes back, we're talking 30 years. It's like, all right, well, now you got to split hairs and dissect and break down, okay, obviously, besides just the basic stat, what quantifies that trend, but you got to look at which teams, what time of year, and so you have to really split it down into other subsets that might give you a stronger trend worth betting on. But I mean, at that point, like you said, you're going in depth on so many other things. You're better off just breaking down the current team and the current forms, kind of like horse racing. I mean, you're not going to look at, the great grandfather of one horse to think, to look at, see what this horse is going to do in this race. You want to look at its current form. And so I take that same mentality in any sport that I bet, be it hockey or hoops or football.
Okay. Well, I did tell you there were certain games I wanted you to make picks on, so I'm going to stick to that. Even though I got derailed and asked you random ass questions at random ass times, I will ask you these certain games. Okay. Dallas versus the Giants. Dallas -3 against the Giants. Also 47.5 over under. What's your take on this game?
Well, it's a big division game for Dallas. I'm going to side with the Cowboys, because here's the thing. It's still November, Tony Romo in his career is 27-6 straight up in the month of November. The bad news is that November's about to end, December's about to come up, and that's the month where the Cowboys have seemed to completely choke the last 3 seasons. So with that being said, and the Giants dealing with some injury issues, they just seem to just be kind of hit and miss. This Dallas team seems to be really good, so I would lay the 3 points with the Cowboys on Sunday night.
You're no longer welcome on the show. Because anytime you pick against my teams, you're a dead man to me. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. Hey, I was on the Vikings last week against the Bears, so I mean, it's you have to put the loyalty hat aside when you start talking dollars and cents. Like, that's the nature of this business.
That's why I try not to gamble, is because I have too many. I have my favorite team, and then I have players that I like on other teams, and it just becomes a disaster. Train wreck. Seattle, Arizona. Seattle favored by 7 over Arizona. Drew Stanton starting. I still feel like Stanton, good game. He's a white guy, so he gets the good title of game manager. Do you think he can manage themselves to a win, or at least gambling wise can suffice in a game against Seattle at Seattle?
Seattle at home, that was a very strong trend that you didn't want. That's a train you didn't want to jump in front of. But this Seahawks team looks to be in complete disarray in the locker room and in the clubhouse. They've got some injury issues now on the front line. They lost their center, Max Unger, for the year. They had another O-lineman get hurt. So when you're talking about facing a top 10 defense like Arizona, who can stop the run really well, which is what Seattle's kind of been. That's been their forte so much with Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson. At the same time, like I said, Stanton playing in that loud crowd with the 12th man. I wouldn't look at the side. I'd probably look at the total, and the total's around 42. I could see this being a low-scoring game, a 14-10 or a 17-14 game. I could see that going under that total.
All right, Alex, before I let you go, I'd like to thank you for being on. Do you want to tell everybody where you can find you on Twitter, the internets, all that good stuff?
Yeah. I'm always happy to be on the show, so thank you for having me. You can find me on Twitter.
Except for when you've done poorly in your picks, you're not happy to be on my show. So on Twitter, find me at axsmithsports. I'm on axsmithsports.com. You can also find me at kellyanvegas.com and also at vegasinsider.com now as well, too. So plenty of options for you to buy my picks in hockey and hoops and football. There's a lot going on, and seem to be doing long games now. I got to check the scores as soon as I get off of you. But, yeah, so. Awesome.
Do we lose Bob? Are you there?
Appreciate it, and we will definitely talk again soon.
All right, yes, sounds good. Yeah. Take it easy, all right?
All right. We will be right back here on the Bob Sullivan Show here on NetSportsRadio.com.
Naturally